we are back. Another week of the Lookout. You already know who it is. It's LJ, and I'm always here, joined by AD. How's it going, AD?
It's going good, man. It's a beautiful Sunday. Sun shining. Um, we've just been having a little fun. I'm glad that the weather is better. We've had a couple of days where it's like raining. We've gotten through the snow. We're turning the corner towards spring now.
Yeah, I can't even relate to that shit. I can't relate not one bit. It's been, bro. I've dead ass been. Yeah, I've been out hunting bears and making bear pelts. It's been freezing. We've been having snowstorms. We got a Arctic winter warning that's been lasting the last couple weeks. Yeah, I don't know. I've been fighting for my life up here. You remember that Jimmy Neutron episode where he messed around and brought the ice age back?
Yes.
That's been me. We've been out trying to hunt caribou.
Hell. I was thinking y'all was like, what is it, Golden Kamui? Where y'all just out in the snow the entire time?
Yeah,
just
bro,
got a little rifle.
Yeah, listen, bro. That's been us. We had 2 snowstorms in the same week. And then next week we got 3 straight days where our highs, let me just say this, our highs are in the negative.
God damn.
We got a high of -3, a high of -1, and we got a high of -2. We got lows of -20, -14, and like -16.
Let me check our weather, because I ain't gonna hold you. We ain't sniffing none of that. Hold on. Yeah, our highs are in our our lows are like in the 20s. We got our lowest is like 19, and then our lowest high is 36. Everything else is like 50, maybe 40, and then like going into later next week is like the 60s.
Yeah, see, I wish we are getting out next week. We do get like somewhat back to normal. We're hitting like 30s and 40s. Not this week, but next week after. So if I survive this week, that's a big if, y'all might not hear my voice next Monday. If I don't survive, we gotta keep in contact. Make sure Mills needs to come.
Yeah, we got a couple of smoke signals out.
Yeah, I know,
right? Mills been watching in the background.
But no, man, that's good though. I hope everybody had a good lovers weekend. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Listen, NBA All-Star Weekend. I haven't watched a single event.
Not at all. I saw Wemby and Chris Paul got disqualified from their challenge or whatever.
That was funny as hell though. I did see that. Not even caring about the shot, just throwing it up.
Yeah. Like, damn, bro, you could at least try or something, man. Nah, they like in the arcade, just throwing that bitch up, trying to get it out.
Just like whatever, I don't care. That was funny.
Nah, it's been cool.
Yeah, nah, that's good though, man. Daima breaking the internet. What is it like? Listen, Dragon Ball is back to breaking the internet. Is the world healing?
I think it is. Are we
getting back to the basics? Are we getting back to grandma's recipes?
It's a tried and true formula. Let me tell you that. Like we've seen this week the biggest thing, and like I'm just happy that we're here. That there's a lot of things that came out with Diamond this week. First of all, like let's start with like the biggest thing for this week's episode. Spoiler alert: Super Saiyan 4 is canon.
It's back.
It's here. Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Super Saiyan 4 Kid Goku at that.
No, that the form is hard. The fact that he stays as a kid, that's what makes it so tough.
Yeah. And he got the red hair. It's like the Gogeta red hair. Like
Yeah. It's tough. It's a super tough form. I feel that Daima is just like Toriyama's like wet dream. It's like, man, it's like he's mixing all his favorite parts of everything that he's done or everything Dragon Ball and just put it into one. That's what Daima was supposed to be. He was like, let me just take all my favorite things from Dragon Ball Z, from Super to GT, and just put it in one series.
Yeah, He's like, I'm gonna just give the fans what they want. It's nothing but damn near pure fan service. It's already come
Oh
out
yeah,
like
it's just a smorgasbord of fan service.
like I think one of the let me see, one of the producers who was working on it apparently said that it is, you know, a homage to GT. Like it is, you know, for the people who grew up when GT first came out, they're now able to watch it with their kids. So he kind of wanted to like bring GT to the present. So like, you know, of course it's going to be, you know, have those relationships with GT. And I dig that. You know, like it's something that we can all watch with the younger generation. You know, like we could say, hey, this is like the thing that, you know, I watched when I was a kid, but it has the better animation, flashier, more characters are involved, and I wouldn't say more fulfilling way. There are some things that are fulfilling, but like as an adult, you get to appreciate like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of great
something that you haven't seen. You know, it's things that we haven't seen before. That are happening, and they're happening in a fun way. They're happening in a way that seems not forced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even though they turned back to kids, like it's not like some, you know, I think that was my biggest thing in GT. It was just like he goes Super Saiyan 4, and now all of a sudden he's an adult again. Like,
yeah,
it made no sense. Like they're kind of keeping it more, you know,
a lot of things make more sense here, bro.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. It just feels fun and playful. Like I said, it just feels like he's just taking all his favorite parts. He's like, shit, I'm just gonna make the most like fan loving thing that I possibly can make, and just put it out in the world. So rip the goat, and thank you for the, you know, thank you for this. Speaking of Dragon Ball, it seems that every anime studio is currently under fire for some odd, you know, for doing things that aren't ethical.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of dirty laundry comes out when it comes to the anime studios. You know, they already don't get paid enough, and you know, Toei finna be the next one to get thrown under the bus. You know, they about to have a workers union come up and be like, hey man, enough is enough. Y'all ain't paying us enough, bro.
They're not getting paid. They're not, you know, they're not being treated right. It's just, we've been seeing it hard with Crunchyroll lately. Crunchyroll's been under super fire.
Oh yeah, Crunchyroll been under fire.
Mappa's been under fire. You know, just for the ways that they overwork their people.
You know, unrelated. You know, I've been seeing stuff with like YouTube and Google. Like what is it? One of their channels is not available anymore. So like we're about to get paid for like, what is it? I think Hulu or something. Like because they said that they're, you know, we haven't reached an agreement. We haven't reached a deal. So all of this stuff will be off our channel or off YouTube TV after like next month or something. And you can go spend your money to go get a subscription there. And so I'm like, damn, bro, like all of these services, all of these companies are like getting under fire for some shit, man. Like y'all are making all the money. Y'all are increasing prices for these services, increasing like production, and the money ain't the same. Like the money staying the same. Y'all, where the salary bumps at? You know, where the overtime paid?
They're not getting any of that. They're just like, listen, you better be having. They'll get them a nice chair. That's it. They'll upgrade the chair, maybe upgrade the desk a little bit.
A company party, you know, a pizza party.
Yeah, listen, they give us some free ramen for the day. That's it. A little ramen party, you know.
Free ramen is crazy.
Free ramen is wild. Some, you know, a couple gyozas, you know, little things here and there, some yakitori. Here you go. That's it. Yeah, they're giving them a
sushi bar.
man, listen, they're not even getting the good sushi. They're getting
California roll.
No, they're getting the sushi that has the American names on the outside. They got English on the outside. They don't even got not even the Japanese lettering. That's crazy. Oh man, but yeah, no, Toei's under fire. It's kind of like, I don't know. Like I think the issue is that it's not gonna translate over here. Like they can complain all they want in Japan, but like people been complaining about horrible work conditions in many companies over there for years, and it's just like they're not changing nothing. Like, yeah,
Mm-mm.
they're gonna bring it to the light, but I don't think anything big is gonna change at all.
Yeah, it's sad when we get
That's the
into
unfortunate thing.
it's gonna be sad. Like this is a decent transition because we're gonna talk about the flashback stuff in One Piece this week. But the overlords always be bringing the problems to like the smaller people, man. Like the citizens, we just trying to work. We just trying to enjoy life, and y'all are hoeing us in every turn of the conversation.
Man, listen, man. It's nasty work out here. That's all I gotta say. I'll say just over here, it's nasty work. Capitalism is
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah, yeah.
But speaking of social justices and whatnot, we are back on this One Piece train, on this One Piece ship. We're back in Fishman Island, and we are getting like the civil rights movement of flashbacks here. This is real Malcolm and Martin.
Yes, it is.
This is real Malcolm and Martin. This is real, like,
Harriet Tubman, Underground Railroad, Journey to Freedom.
Hey, listen, this is real. Like, do you take it by force? Do we want to all be together? Are we gonna be separate but equal? Like, what are we fighting for? During this flashback. So last time we were here, Horty takes over the palace. Some of the princes and some of the other soldiers escape. Minister of the Left escapes. We all end up in the sea forest where Jinbei is there, drinking, sipping chamomile tea and meditating and doing fishman karate. We all get there. He's there, and shout out to Sanjay once again. I feel just continuing to be the MVP of this arc.
Yeah,
Jinbei's like,
just
Sanjay's like, hey, no, Jinbei gives this, before we start this flashback, he gives this reveal of like, listen, I'm the reason why Arlong got out of prison. That's why I became a warlord. I could free him. I could free my guys. They get these pardons. They throw away, listen, they erase the, you know,
they allow us to not be as persecuted. They erase
yeah,
all our
they
crimes from
don't
like
allow us
because
to
they
be
know that
persecuted.
they know that were escaped slaves and we were freed by the man Fisher Tiger. And Sanji's like, because y'all let Arlong get away, bad shit happened to Nami, and we're gonna blame y'all. So you better choose your words lightly, my brother, because otherwise we having sashimi for dinner.
Yeah, like they just like, listen, they gonna let us free. They gonna let us be. All I gotta do is take this warlord title. Maybe do some little dirty work for the government here and there. But other than that, we're gonna be good. That's why I did it. I did it for us. Um, and he makes this reveal before really getting into what I think is though one of the more, I don't want to say complex because like it's not super duper complex. This is like one of those flashbacks where it's like, all right, there's like some real depth here.
Yeah, it's compelling.
Yeah, no, it's really compelling and it's telling a compelling story and it has some like real, like there's some
It's
moral
like
things going here. There's some
yeah,
real moral questions. There's not really a bad guy. There's not really a good guy. There's just kind of like different viewpoints on this situation. I guess more in terms of like Fishman Island, which
yeah.
once again, I don't know why like it's always the fishmen or the aliens that gotta have the black people problems, but hey, I'll take it. Uh, since they're technically the people of color in this whole story. But
Yeah,
but no, but after Jinbei makes his reveal, Sanjay's like, hey, bitch ass nigga. You know what Arlong did to Nami?
yeah.
You know what he did? You know the things that he's done to her people, to her mom, to her, to her village.
And the
Like,
anime did a number to like give all the flashbacks. She going to
oh
the
man, what?
PTSD,
They were
like
boy. What they playing it up. We gotta see her mom shot again. We Listen, we saw him pull up on the island. We saw, like, man, we saw it all again, didn't we? They were really
Yeah,
trying to, they
do
really looped
animation
it up.
too. Like they really try to play into that shit. They're like, "Oh y'all remember this? Y'all don't remember it like how we remember it." Like,
Yeah, y'all better remember what the fuck Arlong did. He's stabbing people and doing all this crazy. He was like, man, fuck that. Nah, but Sanji's like, hey, like what? You know, you freed Arlong. Like, what? Hey, you got this story better be good as hell. Cause if not, I'm
mhm.
gonna beat your ass. Like that's yeah, that he
We
was
are
on that type
cooking
of timing.
you.
Yeah, listen, we finna all jump you. Nothing but hands and feet. Listen, nothing but hands and feet. Oh, so we, so Jinbei's like, all right. He's like, just let me explain. But he's like, listen, I can't just tell you about that. There's a few storylines that all connect together. And you're like, you got to get the full picture. I got to give you the full explanation. Um, no, so we go back. What was it? 16 years?
Yeah, it's about 16 years.
About 16 years. That he said. Um, so we go back in time. We see, we start off with, seeing this Fishman rob a bank and rob this
Mhm.
guy, and he's going, and next thing the royal guards catch him. They're like, "Hey, you!" They're about to catch him. Then we see Queen Otame pop up. And we see that she
Mhm.
can use. Was it? That's not observation hockey, right? That she use?
No, it is. She got strong observation hockey.
Yeah, there we go.
'Cause she
She has strong observation hockey, and you know, Robin's like, "Hey, listen, I need y'all to stop. I'm just trying to get this. I'm just trying to get this paper and go on by my way." And he
mhm.
fires off some bullets. Sometimes he's dodging them, and she gets them, and she's like, "Bro, like, what do you want? Like, what are you
Like,
doing?
this
Like,
is
you
not
think
the way.
this is not the way. This is not the way, right? Like, my brother, she's, you think your family's gonna be proud of you? Think your kids are gonna look at you the same? Um, yeah,
He looked at him like, "I'm broke." Like
he's looking at her like, "Bitch, I'm starving. You got this palace. I don't eat like fishing beans for the last 3 weeks. Like, what do you mean?"
yeah. My
It's like,
store got destroyed. You know, my kids going hungry, man. We gotta eat. You feel me?
listen,
Like,
man, I got some debts to pay. Like, what do you want? She's like, hey, like, I get it. I understand it. I'm sorry. As your queen, like, I should not be letting my people starve, but you can't be robbing folk either. And I think it's a great opener because it really establishes like Otami as like morally, it really
yeah.
establishes her because not only can she say, "Hey, you fucked up," but she can also say, "I fucked up too because I'm the queen and you're my,
Mhm.
you're one of the people that are under me. You're in my kingdom, and the fact that you're starving and the fact that you got all these things going on, um, like it, I failed you also. It's not just a your fault thing. It's a both and."
Yeah, it reminded me of like Alabasta with the king, because like back then they were all starving because like it was a desert, nothing was growing out there for them, and their king was like, I feel y'all pain. I really can't do nothing right now, but I could at least like hear y'all out and try to do the best that I can. And so it's like there are some royalty in the One Piece world that kind of are compassionate, and that's with their citizens, and that's why they are the way that they are and how they're leading. So even then, she's like, I understand, I failed you, but no, and she just smacks the fuck out of this nigga. She just slaps this nigga to the point where he's like, I learned my lesson. She slapped all the hate and rage out of this man.
Hurt her own hand. Oh man. But no, like I think that just established, like I said, it establishes this moral in her of just like she wants the best for her people.
Yeah,
And I think that's been, that's the big thing about her is like, yo, we can have so much more. She's talking to her people and she's like, we gotta have so much more if we move to the surface. We don't have to live
mhm,
in this bubble below the sea anymore. We can move the kingdom. We can move on land. We can, establish relationships with the humans. I know it's iffy between us. I know they be enslaving us and doing all these things, but like not all humans are bad. I don't want to continue to kind of live in this cage because we're afraid of them, or we have these issues with them, so we stay below. No, like, why can't we enjoy the sun and the sky and all the landscapes and all these things? And it causes and it's a big
It, it
it's a big, like, friction point for the
hmm
fishmen, because
yeah,
they're like, man, damn, it would be great to live up there. It would be great to, have all these things, but also at the same time, these humans even come down here and they just get to, kidnapping us and doing all, like, why do I want to
hmm
go, why do I want to go finagle with them?
Yeah, even though like you see, and we've seen it all like throughout, not just this flashback, but a little bit in Saudi, like all the fishmen or fish kids go up to the surface of Saudi and see all the like pretty lights, and they're like, this is a wonderful place. Like you can see all the dreams and emotions, but they can only go up there, when it's safe, because otherwise they will get kidnapped. And that's one of those things where it's like you feel for the Fishman Island people, because like we live down here under the sea. Why can't we live up there? And so she pushes this narrative. She pushes like the whole thing of trying to get signatures to and getting fishmen to understand, like, well, someday, we can live up there. They persecute us because they don't know us, they don't understand us, but maybe one day will be allowed to go up there and they will see that we're not bad people. And that's a great little narrative beat to have, like a great little theme of this entire flashback.
And so we have the queen, who is, I think, one, no, she's the Martin of this focal point. You know,
Yeah.
Tommy Luther King. You got her going on over here. And for every Martin, we need a Malcolm. And that's when
Yeah.
we jump to Fishman District,
Yeah.
where we meet Big Brother Ty.
Yeah.
Ty
Tiger
X.
eggs.
Tiger X. We meet we Big Brother Ty over there. And Ty isn't and Peter Tiger isn't especially even when we see him uh assume himself as the leader of the Fishman district. It's
Mhm.
not like he goes in there and is like, "Hey, I'm this malicious ruler. I'm coming in here to say, finna take over." He's just like, "No, like, I'm gonna take over. I'm the leader because obviously I'm the strongest. None of y'all can beat me up.
Mhm.
We do a real old school here. Any of y'all can challenge me from my spot." Um,
That man put a barbershop on every corner, you know what I'm
Y
saying?
like, but he's just like, "Listen, but if I'm gonna be the leader of the Fishman district, Imma look out for y'all. Y'all are my people. Imma look out for us. This is who I like, y'all. It's us. It's us and them."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and he gains this respect, and we see a young Jinbei, we see a young Arlong, we see a long Hachi, like, we see all of them, getting them their start. We even see, during that time, a kid Horty Jones and the rest
Mhm.
of his crew. And what Fisher Tiger has always been just about, hey, listen, as long as we're straight, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's this adventurer, so he goes off, and we get, we see him assume himself as a leader, but then we see, a little bit into the future, we see Arlong and Jinbei, they get into this tiff. Right now, Jinbei is leader of the Royal Guard, and Arlong is just, he's still thugging. He's starting to learn along pirates. He's still in Fishman District. He kind of doing his thing. He's moving. He got a couple keys under him. He's moving.
Mhm.
He's kind of,
Mhm.
he's making a little bit of pape here and there. He's doing his thug thizzle, but he's real hate on the humans still. So when the humans pull up, they try to do something. He's like, "Hey, like, I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all around my city. I don't like when y'all stop here and use this as a pit stop. I don't like the smell of you, the look of you, the taste of you. I don't like nothing about you." Jinbei is
Mhm.
real like, "Man, listen, peace, love, and hair grease." Like, he's like, "Listen, we can all live in harmony. Like, obviously, I'll for
Mhm.
my people first, but they ain't messing with us. I ain't messing with them."
Yeah.
Uh, and, we see them, Arlong and Jinbei get into this little argument in the middle of the city, and that's when Big Brother Ty comes back.
Oh yeah. because that's when Jinbei works for the royal guard for the moment, and Arlong is like, he's a little thug, and Jinbei's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna need you to drop my soldier." And he's like, "Soldier? Oh, look who we got here." You don't forget where you came from, my nigga.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's definitely that. Listen, it's definitely that. The one in the hood that so happens to become a police officer. You're
yeah.
kind of like, oh, like, oh, look who's Mister Catman now. Like it's really like one of those. It's like in Snowfall, the cop that lives there, like it's like him and
Yeah.
Franklin. He's like, yo, get my daughter hooked on crack. Like type shit. But
Yeah.
so, they got this, they get this thing, and Brother Ty pulls up, and it's just like all beef dies when Brother Ty comes around.
Yeah, yeah, they knew to squash that shit immediately.
He was just like, they're like, Brother Ty, like you back. And you're like, man, you was gone a long time on this adventure, which we will figure out a little bit longer in a little bit
Yeah,
why he was
yeah,
gone so long.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, I had to go see the world, done seen some things, and experienced some things. I'm about to pull up to the palace real quick, just real mad casual. Like I'm gonna just pull up and talk to the king and queen real quick.
Mhm.
Um, and then there we see, uh, we see Tiger be. I think this is
He
like the realest thing he's done because he even
yeah,
says it. He's like, listen, I've been to the world. I've been traveling up top. I've been seeing the surface level. And I seen the true natures of humans. And he was just like, I
yeah,
gotta free our people. I gotta free the slaves.
yeah.
You know. Listen, rapping like he's trying to get the slaves free.
Mhm.
And he's like, listen, when I do that, there may be some heat on us. There may be some heat on the island. I just wanted to give y'all a courtesy heads up, just in case. You know, like, hey, I got love for you, King and Queen. King Neptune, Queen Otime, I got love for y'all. I know y'all got love for me, but like this is something I gotta do. And we see and we see Fisher Tiger come through, or see him come through in what he in what he promised, and he goes and attacks the celestial dragons to free all the Fishman slaves.
Yeah, man. That was one of those more impactful moments because we knew about like not just slaves being there and like how many slaves were being free. Like Boa was a slave at one point, and and like it's just one of those things. Like shit, if normal humans can become slaves, just imagine what the shit they was doing to actual fishmen up there. You feel me? So like he was like, yo, we gotta actually get them out of there. Like it was some crazy shit going on up there. So he ends up riling up all the people from Fishman District. Jinbei quits his job, says, "Let's go." Arlong, who already made the Arlong Pirates with Hachi, and the other folks was like, "Yeah, let's go ahead and lock in. We riding with you." So
He's like, he was like, listen, our long pirates are now, we now running with the Sun Pirates.
hmm
Listen, we the now we the Fishman Pirates now. And essentially, Treasure Tiger, he starts this revolution. He's like, you know what? That's what we finna do. We finna go around. And during this, like you said, during this time, I think just in the story in general of I think it really starts once we get to Sabaody, because you see Sabaody Park, and then and they even do the comparison of like why Arlong Park was shaped and looked like the way it was.
hmm
It was just like it became this kind of like this kind of like fuck you monument.
Yeah,
Kasawati Park is where they held all the fishermen slaves, and he's just like, no, Arlong Park is gonna be where we keep all where the fishermen can be free, and all these other things.
yeah,
So, but I think even just from Sabaody, when we get there, we see kind of the role that slaves play in this story.
hmm
We see during the time skip with Robin's story and how she figured it out, and and that's how she got to meet Dragon and be a part of the revolution. Um, we saw I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, we saw the other fishmen that saw Woody that were slaves. It's kind of like
hmm
this theme that's just been kind of bubbling anyways during this whole like time. I say for the past what maybe 2-3 arcs. No, like you
Yeah.
said, Boa. So I think like this kind of comes to the climax of that theme of just like, okay, we see the slaves, we see these people getting held in captive and how they're horribly treated, the celestial dragons and how they treat others, and we kind of just see it all come to a bubble with Fisher Tiger. And once he does this attack, and once he starts freeing the slaves, and what you start seeing, kind of like, listen, and even him being like, my goal isn't to wipe out humanity. I'm not trying to mess
Mhm.
these humans. I'm not trying to kill no humans or anything. All I want is just whoever's held in captivity to be free. Like that's all I'm wanting.
Yeah.
That's all I'm fighting for.
He low key like Frederick Douglass, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
Man, hey, hey, listen, I don't know what perm he got in his head though. That boy has some good hair. He mixed with a
Yeah,
little
man.
something. He got a little native in him.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, so and I think we see this moment where Fisher Tiger's like, listen, y'all want to all be a part of this. We're gonna get this new mark on us that shows that we're free men. None of us are gonna have the
Mhm.
slave mark on us no more. And they get the sun branded on them over there. If they had a mark before, they get it covered up with the sun marker. Like, we're all part of the Sun Pirates.
Yeah.
That's just how we get down. And then we see a moment where the Marines attack them, and the Marines are like, "Hey, we gotta take these guys down." The Marines get smacked up. We see Arlong and Jinbei lose control for a moment and kill two of the Marines.
Oh, yeah,
And
'cause one of them said, "Bruh, you called me the N word?
yeah,
What?"
it was real like, you know, it definitely
Hard
called him.
ER.
Yeah, they gave him the hard ER. And Jinbei was like, "Hey, hell no." Jinbei was like, "What?" Arlong was like, "Hey, yeah, y'all ain't finna just be on here calling me something crazy." Um,
Yeah.
and but I think once again, a moment where it establishes, uh, Fisher Tiger's like moral standpoint of like, listen, I may not like the humans for what they're doing to us, but that does not make it right for me to also kill them back. Like we don't kill here. All we
Yeah.
do is free your slaves. We may beat them up, we may throw them overboard, whatever, but we're not killing them. What, and it just establishes once again the mirror image of the Queen and
Mhm.
Brother Ty, where it's like eh, they understand what's wrong around in a full circle sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, we
holding
can't
me
do to them
captive.
what they did to us, like, type.
Yeah. Like, hey, they may hold us captive and they may hold us, but that doesn't also make it right if I kill this person. Like, I'm also committing a wrong.
Yeah.
Um, and it kind of, but this moment here kind of starts a divide between, you know, Tiger and Arlong,
Mhm.
because Arlong's like, I don't get it. Like, if like they're holding us, they're making us slaves. Like, what you mean it ain't right to kill them? I think
Right.
Jinbei's real like, okay, I understand the lesson, what he's trying to teach me here. I understand, like I hear what he's trying to say. Like he really listened to Brother Ty's like real message. I
Mhm.
think that Arlong was there like, I like what Tiger represents. He represents this freedom for for Fishman. He represents this like liberty for our island and for our people, but he's maybe not liking the message under it. And where
Yeah.
Jinbei is like, I understand the message where he's saying of just like, listen, although he wants us to be free, that doesn't mean that we got to go out and do the same thing our oppressors did to us, kind of thing.
Mhm. Which whose side would you be on?
Eh, eh, I don't know. I want to lean towards Arlong a little bit, but he starts going crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
starts going wild. And I want to lean towards Jinbei, but Jinbei goes a little soft. Where I'm just like,
Nah,
oh, like damn, Jinbei, like you kind of like you a little bit too forgiving.
right. Like, you there's some things that you just gotta stand for, dog. Like,
Yeah, like there's some things where it's like, all right, you gotta put your foot down at some point, in which he does. Once we move along, where Fisher Tiger and them, they pull up to this island, and these natives are like, hey, you got this young girl named Koala,
mm-hmm.
you know, she's a slave. We trying to just get her home. She's a slave, and we just want to get her home. Can you please bring her back? Uh, which all in into so after they beat up the Marines, they go back to headquarters. We see a young Kizu.
Yeah, Kizaru,
Yeah, we
yeah.
see a young Kizaru, cigarette in mouth. He had a good cut, nice little.
Mm-hmm.
The sideburns are still there. Uh, he's like, oh, okay, like cool. Fish a tiger in them. They moving like that. I like,
Let's watch him and see what's going on.
like he's so chill and cool. Like, all right, cool for sure. Like we'll see we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see how this gets cracking. Um, and so they go to this island. They get this slave girl. They're like, all right, we're finna bring her back. And then she gets on board. She's looking at them around all these fishmen. She's scared shitless. They all
Mm-hmm.
like, man, what the hell? This nigga Arlong pissed off. Like, man, why we got this human girl on here? Like, I'm about to beat her up. I'm like, dang, relax, brother. Like,
Right. She just sitting there like, oh shit. She just
eh,
starts cleaning everything, like PTSD kicking in.
nigga done kicked her. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, brother. Like, yeah, he gets the wildin' Jinbei over there. Even Hachi's like, hey, yo, like, chill. Like she ain't doing nothing to any of us. And
Mm-hmm.
and Mr. Tiger's like, you know what? Little girl, come here. And he brands
Mm-hmm.
her. He makes her a sun pirate. And he's just like, you one of us. You got this symbol. That means you one of us. That means you're a free person. You ain't no slave. It's okay to cry. You ain't like
Mm-hmm.
you're free now. And she's like, oh man, like she's just
She
overwhelmed
breaks
with emotion.
down.
She just breaks down. And Fisher Tiger's like, man, hey, everybody drop their weapons. Throws his little,
Little
throw,
pistol in the
yeah,
ocean.
throw a little pistol in the ocean. I was like, dang, that's kind of a nice pistol though. I was like, you kind of wilding on that. I was like,
Yeah.
those ain't easy to come by during those times, brother. Um, all the other fishermen drop their weapons. They're like, hell yeah, like what? Like, hey, um, and they're like, all right, we about to take this girl there. And you see this really being a turning point for all of them, really, in terms of how they're viewing humans and their relationships to humans, and even
Yeah.
like Fisher Tiger's thoughts on humans, where he's just like, all right, you know what? It's bigger than just me freeing the fishmen. Like, I'm about to free
Mm-hmm.
all the slaves, human
Yeah.
and fishmen. Like, we going all out. There's no reason anyone should be oppressed in this world. And I was like, damn. It's like
That's
Fisher Tiger
real.
got a point. I was like, that's real. That's real. I'd
Cause
have been on.
you had Jinbei's talk to her before she before they cleaned her up and everything. He's like, why are you scared of us? Like, do you what why are you just cleaning everything? She's like, I just really don't know y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know anything about y'all whatsoever. I got beat up when I was a slave. They treated me badly, like they were gonna kill me. I seen my friends get killed if they disobeyed or did anything right, wrong, or whatever. I'm just trying to live and go see my mom. You feel me? And they're just like, you know what? That's real. That's real.
They're like, damn, we been there. We been there. They're like, he's like, damn. They're like, damn, I know the same feeling. Um, and so they move along, and uh they move along, they're going, they finally get her to the island, and we figure out, we get her there. The people of the village are really scared when they see Tiger down. They're like, man, it's a fisherman. Like, I don't know. And she's like, no, like they're really good people. Like, you gotta make, we gotta accept them for who they are. We
Right. They're
gotta we
not
gotta love
bad. They
who
didn't
they
do
are.
nothing
They're
to
not
me.
bad. They did nothing to me. Like they made sure I was safe. And so Tyre feels this moment of accomplishment of like, I got her back. I did this thing. Like he's kind of going back to the ship with this new mindset of, hey, we're human or fishman. Like we gotta complete this mission. And then we figure out that this was all a huge trap.
Yeah.
And
That's set
so,
up.
that was all set up. The elders from the previous village, they gave up the location. They get the drop on him, and Tiger's surrounded. The Fishman pirates get surrounded on the ship. They just shooting at this man. Fill him up with bullet holes. They treat him like Denzel at the end of Training Day. Jinbei's like, Arlong, you go steal a marine ship. And he's like, I'm gonna go get brother Ty. He runs and he punched this marine in the face, and they're like, damn, we knew Jinbei was strong, but they're like, nah, he a different breed.
Yeah, yeah.
They end up saving, they getting brother Ty back to the stolen marine ship, and they got him on board, and they're trying to give him this blood transfusion, and he's just like, nah, ain't nothing but
Oh,
human blood in here. You see how they treat us?
yeah. I will never.
And he was like, I would never have human blood coursing through my veins.
I don't put that dirty shit in
You
me.
know,
Like,
I don't put that shit in me. I only want fishman blood in my veins. That's all I have. I'm a pure thoroughbred fishman, and they don't have no fishman blood on here, so I'm not taking their human blood.
I would rather die.
I would rather die than. And then during this moment, he, he finally decides to admit to them that he was captured and held slavery, held in captivity. It was a slave also. And they're all like, what? They're all like, "Nigga, you out of all people was a slave?" They was all taken aback. I was like, damn, wait till his deathbed to tell her that he was a slave.
I was ashamed.
He was like, I was ashamed. I was a slave. I got captured. They got the drop on me. They knew. He was just like, man, the things that I endured, and when I finally escaped, that's why I taught, attack the Celestials, because they were the ones that was holding me down, and I just wanted my revenge. And he was just like,
Mhm.
man, I saw all the other slaves I was being held down. And he was like, man, I gotta save them all. Um, and he was like, but you know what? Like, he was just like, this anger, this hate I feel to, like, this gotta die with me. Like,
Mhm.
y'all can't hold on to that. And they're all like, man, no, fuck that. Arlong's like, man, fuck this. So tired of this shit. He was like, man, like these humans, they keep messing us up. They keep doing all these things. And so Arlong storms out. I was like, no, I'm finna go. Hey, I'm finna go get busy.
Yeah.
And Jinbei tries to stop him. Hachin tries to stop him, but Arlong's like, man, nah, fuck all that. He's like, these
Yeah.
humans need to die. Um,
And so
y-
after his death, right quick though, they have to have that little challenge. Like, all right, we can settle this 1-on-1. I'm tired of your shit, nigga. Like, if you beat me, you can do whatever you want, type shit. Jinbei beats his ass, like knocks this nigga unconscious, and
nah,
Jinbei's like,
he put the work on him, didn't he? He was
yeah,
man.
he did that
He was
nigga like
just like
Usopp and Luffy.
He was like Arlong get hits in just for sympathy. He's like, all right, whatever, one punch, two punch. All right, take this uppercut. Ding. He was like, all right, block kick. All right, short kick to the ribs, low kick. It was just man. Listen,
It was
his
all
frame per
bad.
minute was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was man. Listen, he was just trying out new techniques at that point. He was like, I ain't never tried this hold before. Let me try it on you.
Yeah. He was really trying to get out some aggression too. He was like, "Nigga,
Yeah,
bitch,
he
all that
was.
bullshit earlier."
Yeah, nah, he was just like, nah, I remember all that shit you was talking. You called me a fishman coon, you know? Yeah, I remember that. He was like, I remember you trying to talk to me like I was crazy. Like, I done forgot my people.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, call me a token and everything, didn't you? He's like, I don't remember that. But Marlon goes off. He attempts to fight 150 Navy ships by himself. Ends up getting captured because Kizaru was like, nah, I'm just gonna shoot you. That's my favorite thing about Kizaru is that he don't waste no time.
He
he's
don't.
like, he's like, I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna do the toy with my food thing. I'm gonna just shoot you, and then we're just gonna call it a day after this. And so he gets captured. The Fishman pirates have to move on. They get back to Fishman Island where all the slaves are released. Um, and I think this is kind of like this intersection of Queen and Fisher Ty, and Brother Ty's like story
Mhm.
once they get back, because the Queen is down there. She's doing this due diligence work of she has to get all these signatures to go to the World Summit and provide them like, listen, our people want to move up here. Like, can you allow it? Can you give us that you know give us that freedom to come back?
Yeah.
And while
And
Fisher Tiger's out here freeing the slaves, she's down there looking out for their people. And once they get back, they figure out that Brother Ty is dead. Jinbei comes back. Arlong's locked
mhm.
up right now and impaled down. They get back and Jinbei
Once
and Aladdin. Uh
I was gonna say once they figure out like that, Tiger's dead, some of the people start taking back their signatures from Queen, and she's
yeah,
like,
because they figured out like, man, Brother Ty died because of the hands of the humans. This is like, I don't, he's a national treasure to us. He's up there
yeah,
doing the dirty
yeah,
work, getting his hands dirty to make sure our people are straight. And the humans take him out. Is like, I know that you talking about all this integration stuff, but I ain't really with it anymore. So I think the death of Tiger helped, not help, but like it really just shift everything. When the thing is that people don't understand at this moment, they didn't understand, because once we get to the end of this, we see how their viewpoints match more than they were different.
mhm,
Um, but they're kind of just like, nah, they killed Tiger, bro. Like, that was our man's. We can't do it. We don't want to integrate with them. And I think Aladdin and Jinbei have a great conversation as the slaves are getting off the boat to get back to Fishman Island. And Aladdin's like, listen, I understand. I heard what Tiger was saying. And I agree with him just as much as you agree with him, Jinbei. But he was just like, listen, these men were held slaves. Like, you can't expect them to just let that go. He was like,
yeah,
he was like, that type of stuff stays with you forever. And then that's the type of stuff that like really alters your mindset on things. And he was like, Jinbei kind of sat there with that damn, like, kind of right.
yeah,
And he's like, shit, I don't know what more, like, what can we do? Um, but we get to this moment, they get back. Jinbei gets the order of like, hey, if you become a warlord, uh and for that, and Jinbei becoming a warlord was more of a play for the world government than it was for him. Because the government kind of knew, the vice admirals knew of like how strong he was. And they're just like, do we really want this problems? Like, he was low key stronger than Fisher Tiger. And so they're like, do we really want this issue with him? Or, can we make him a warlord and we'll free and pardon all your homies, and we'll call it a day. He takes
mhm,
he lets the king and queen know, like, hey, I'm gonna take this warlord position, and so we know we don't have the government hunting us no more. We don't got any of these things happening anymore. I can go get Arlong. Arlong, they free him, and Arlong's like, man, fuck you. I don't care if you're a damn dog once again, coon. And he gets going crazy on him. He's like, nah, Arlong, bite, we out. Hey, you Arlong pirate, come roll with me. We out. We got
yeah,
to go to the
yeah,
East Blue and go rampage shit. And Jinbei's like, shit, I can't really stop these guys. He's like, y'all go do what y'all gonna do. He's like, don't ask me for no more help though. This is your one favor you getting from me.
yeah,
Uh, and we get back to the surface, and Queen Otohime like, like, I lost all these signatures. Like, she's just heartbroken, and she's getting drunk, and she does this video transmission of just like, bro, y'all think like, oh, y'all think I really care about the human like that?
he really got on IG Live.
Bro, she went on IG Live with it, drunk. She hit a Tyrese. She hit a Tyrese, bro. IG Live, 40-minute video, drunk. That was crazy. I was like, dang, but you was like, man, y'all think I really care about these humans? Like, no, it's about us. She was like, man, I'm trying to live. I'm trying to see the world. I'm trying to, all of us deserve that. We don't deserve to be stuck in this bubble. You're like, man, the only reason why we came down here, this is the only place with a ray of sunlight.
Right.
Like, it's the only place that we can get the sun, and she's like, don't you want to see that every day? Like, don't you want to see the sky? Don't you want to see all these things? No, she gives this real heartfelt video transition. They're kind of like, they got the people online, on teetering. I
Yeah.
don't know. And while this all happened, the next day, The celestial dragon that just so happened to enslave some of them guys ends up crash landing on the island, trying to get
Hmm.
his slaves back. He gets there, and then the slaves pull up, and he's looking at them. He's all beaten, battered, and he was just like, "You," he was like, "Man, you guys, you need to come back with me. You need to do this." They're like, "Man, hey," they just up the pole on them, like
Yeah.
50 of them in the face.
We ain't gonna say nothing.
They're like, "Nah, bro, you ain't saving shit." Tommy, she's going down because she's like, man, this celestial dragon, that could be my key. That could be my way to get to the world government because, after everything Tiger did, they was like, hey, you can't come to the world summit no more. They don't
Hmm.
revoke that world summit card and everything. And you get down there, she's like, no, don't shoot him. And they was like, no, fuck that. They just like let it off. And also, let's be real here. They have horrible aim.
They do. They
Cause
do.
she got grazed in the arm and they at least shot like 8 to 10 times. And they didn't hit him once. It was all point blank. It was pretty close. It wasn't far enough for the wind to change the trajectory. I'll say that.
I don't even think no wind is down there for real. So
Man, you
like,
know what I'm saying? Like it was real calm. Maybe a little humidity in the air, but other than that, like
they
I was like, I don't know. I was like, she only got grazed in the arm, and then I think one of the bigger things that kind of happen here too is that we kind of see the beginning of Vanderdecken.
oh
Um,
yeah,
yep. If we see the moment of
not like
Vanderdecken,
us.
yeah, man, listen, freaky boy,
Yeah,
it's a
bro.
freaky man right there. But no, we see him really, because during this time, her mom gets shot, and then what's the I can't I'm gonna butcher her name,
Otohime, or are you talking about
her daughter.
Shirahoshi?
Shirahoshi, there you go. See Shirahoshi cry because she sees her mom get shot, and she's like, "Oh," like she cries, and she happens to have this power where she could summon all the Sea King beasts, and
Yeah.
they all pull up, like 3 of them pull up, and they're looking at him. The celestial dragon's looking like, "Oh shit, I'm about to die." He's like, he definitely defecated on himself. He needed to be cleaned up a little bit. He was like, man, hey, I'm about to get smoked. And they eat his shit. And they just looking at him. He was like, all right, well, I'll do whatever y'all tell me to do. Just make sure these people don't kill him. And Vanderdecken's looking at her like, oh, she's the legendary mermaid that my family's been telling us about for years. And it starts that, it kind of begins their whole little story.
Yeah.
Um, and after that, the queen convinces the celestial dragon like, no, listen, take me to the land, take me
Yeah.
up there, and so I can talk to the world government. I can talk to these people, and she convinced them to bring them, and she goes up there, and the people, her family is all like, man, when's she coming back? What's
Yeah.
gonna
She
happen?
spent
They
like a
kind of
week on the voyage. You know.
yeah, just like they're like, man, listen, they done already made that boy Tiger a slave. Like, what they gonna do to her? Like,
Right.
they scared, and finally they get, she comes back, and she's like, I did it, guys, I did it. They said that we were invited back and we complete our case, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it for all of us. And they're like, yeah. She gives this heartfelt speech, and they're like, she's like, I just need your signatures. And it's kind of like this little moment, it's a little eerie, and then you see the kids come in, and they're just like, we're gonna do it. We got you, queen. And then he's like, well,
Hmm.
my mom said she's gonna sign up too. It's like box tops. You remember doing those as a kid? You got
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
those
Off the
boxes you had
strip.
to cut
Yeah.
out. You had to drop them all. It was like that.
Yeah.
They're like, man, we're gonna need a bigger box. And they dropped the box, and everybody, they're like, man, like it's looking up. She's like, man, the memory of Tiger will live on, and we're gonna live on, and we're gonna be like, it's like, okay, like we get this happy ending. We done gone through all these troubles. Like we gonna be good now. And then
Mm,
one fateful day,
mm.
he's down there. They're still collecting signatures. The next thing you know, the signatures just go ablaze. She's like, no, we gotta save the signatures. We gotta save what we can. I don't want people having to sign up twice. You know how
Right.
people don't always follow through. It's like a spam email at this point. You know, listen, she's like, nah, man, I need a, so they're trying to save the signatures, and out of nowhere, you hear a They hear a gunshot, and the queen is shot down. She's assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
They took her out. They took out Otami.
We don't know who did it
Otami
either.
Luther. Otami Luther King. They took her down. In the middle, she was sitting. She was on her balcony, and they took her out. And also, let's just say this is the best arc to do during Black History Month.
Yes.
We chose a perfect Black History Month arc. Uh, but they took her out, and the kids come, and Hiroshi's about to cry again. They scared 'cause they're like, hey, she got the power to destroy this whole island. And her mom, the mom is like, listen, all the anger and everything y'all feeling right now, like y'all gotta, y'all gotta don't hold that against anybody else. That's my burden to carry.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all, the plans and the goals. It's real, it's the real same thing that like Tiger said to his crew, where he's just like, listen, this gotta die with me.
Yeah.
Like all this hate, all this anger, like, it's gotta go with me. And the rest of y'all gotta live a peaceful life and fight for peace and justice, and like not hold all this anger towards the humans or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we have this beautiful family moment.
It's a certain moment that happens in here where Vanderdecken sneaks a touch on Shirahoshi and takes off. You know, so that's how he ends up having the power to like track her with his Mark fruit.
Yep. So he you know this is real beautiful moment of just like you seeing like her and her kids, and like right before she passes, you go back to the palace, and King Neptune's losing his mind. He's like, man, trap me in this room right now. He's
Yeah.
like, don't let me out, because if y'all let me out, I'm gonna do some wild shit. He's like, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna bug the fuck out. He was just like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. We gonna bug the fuck out. Um, and right now they killed a human who they suspected thought you did it, a pirate. And Jinbei's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, we gotta hide this fact. And a young Horty's like, nah, fuck that. Like grabs him, holds the dead human. This is the man that killed our queen. Yeah, like, there are
Mm-hmm.
humans. These humans hate us. And it's just like, nah, fuck that. Fuck all these humans. We don't never want to go up. And um, no, so it's like we're kind of right back to square one after
Yeah.
everything that we've gone through, all the progress we made. They're right back at square one. And during the funeral, the dad makes the kids stay because he's like, man, listen, it ain't safe for y'all right now. You got this weirdo sending Chirahoshi love notes,
Yeah.
people getting assassinated. He was like, y'all stay home. And it ends. I think this is one of the. I think the ending really got me. What Prince Fukukoshi was like, hey man, y'all may not be good ready for the next 2 years and the next World Summit. That's fine. But there's another one in 6, and there's another one in 10, and I just want, I want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna work on getting back to where we were with my mom, and he gives this beautiful, heartfelt speech that gives a lot of hope to the future,
Mm-hmm.
and we go back to the present. You go back to the present, and Sanji's still on dirt after that whole story.
Yeah. That nigga's like, bro, if you really feel bad, bro, kill yourself right now.
He
I
was
want to see some blood.
He was like, damn, Jinbei, good story. Hey, Frankie, throw me that knife. It's like, kill yourself. Die, nigga. You want to really atone to Nami for letting Arlong free and feeling responsible? Die. And Nami's like, man, listen. What Arlong did is what Arlong did. Arlong ain't Jinbei, and Jinbei ain't Arlong. Like, I gotta let it go. I gotta let him
Mm-hmm.
be. And we end it there in this moment of like, okay, like, we're seeing, she's like, man, listen, not all fishmen are bad. Just like all humans are bad. I'm just like, this
Yeah.
is Luffy's man's, this is my man's.
Yeah.
Um, and we end this flashback on a hopeful note until the very last second.
Yeah. Where they're
Where
like,
Horty Jones is like, hey yo, this we back on IG Live. This mic on. It was just like, I just want y'all to know right now, I took over the palace, and my name is Horty Jones, and I'm the captain of the new Fishman pilots or pirates. And That's where we kind of ended. We're back in the present now, and we see Horty really getting his plan. Like they're really kicking off the plan now.
Yeah. Even funny, like we ain't talk about Luffy. This man fell asleep at the very beginning of the entire flashback, bro. This nigga
Sanji
wakes
being
up.
like, the only way he sits still is if he sleep. He was like get this ADHD kid out of here. Yeah, Luffy sleeping through the whole thing, waking up. He's just like, so you said someone got robbed? He was like, you ain't hear nothing from the beginning? They're like, bro, he told like a 40-minute story.
Right.
Oh man, but man, listen, I really love this flashback. I think it
Yeah.
just it set the tone for a lot.
Yeah,
It
it
set the tone
did.
for this uh, you really understand what the relationships were. You kind of understand the dynamics. You even talk about like the differences between Horty and Arlong, or Hachi does. He's like, man, listen, Arlong may have hated humans, but he loved Fishman. He would
Yeah.
never hurt a Fishman. He was like, Horty different. Horty gonna hurt a Fishman if they side with a human, if they feel sympathy for a human. Like he really hates humans. And which is not understandable, but like Horty comes from Fishman District. Like Tiger
Yeah.
was his hero, and like the humans killed Tiger, and he was really young and impressionable at that time when it happened.
Yeah.
So it's like you
'Cause
see
it,
how that has an everlasting effect on how he moves now.
Yeah, and it's one of those themes where it's like, he wasn't directly, persecuted or had prejudice against him. Like he wasn't affected by it directly, but he sees the people who are older than him who were affected by it, and he's like, "Nah, fuck that. Like I'm not trying to deal with that shit. Like y'all shouldn't be dealing with that either. Like it's fuck these niggas till the day we die type shit. You feel me? So it's like, I it's real quick, where do you rank this in terms of like One Piece flashbacks? Like out of
See,
like,
I was thinking that too. See, I'm glad you asked that question because I'm like, man, there's some really good ones.
yeah.
There's some really good flashbacks. I just think this one, I can't put a specific place on it right now.
But like think of like some of the best ones up to this point. Like we had Nami's, we had Robin's. I think Brooke and Brent.
Robbins is the funniest
Yeah.
because it was like niggas learning, and that was the whole basis of everything that happened.
Niggas learning? No, we gotta cut that shit
Yeah, wipe them out, all of them. Nope, nah, niggas reading books. Get them out of here. Um, man, I think just because Fisher Tiger and all of them were just such cool characters. I would say I'll rank it high in terms of
Yeah.
flashback, and also too it gives actually like until this point in the story, this flashback really kind of like lets you know everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Like before, you're kind of just like, okay, Horty Jones, Fishman Island, he don't like humans, whatever, whatever. But this kind of like really gives context to everything. And so you're
Yeah.
kind of just like, oh, okay, I understand it now. So like, I just think of from the context that it brings, from the story that it told, to you know, and it really does connect to everything they're doing now.
Mhm. And it
Eh,
bridges the gap between like so many different arcs already. Like we talked about Arlong Park with Nami, and then we
yeah,
bridge it with Sandy. It's like it brings all of those themes
and
together.
yeah, it creates some full circle moments, even for Nami, where it's just like I think it's just it tells a complete story, and that's what I like so much about it. I think a lot of the
Yeah.
flashbacks, like they give a piece, it's like good to know, but it's like this tells a complete story where you're kind of getting like, oh, okay, like things
Mhm.
come full circle with this flashback. It's like the last piece of the puzzle. You're like, okay, now I get it all. But no, I'd rank it highly. I'll say that. I can't give an official like, oh, it's gonna be in my top 5 or top 10, but I would rank it highly in terms of flashbacks that we've gotten so far.
Yeah. I'm right there with you on that.
Because because there's some other flashbacks that come after this, so you're like, damn, those are really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking a couple right now. Like
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a couple right now, but I would rank this one highly, in terms of flashbacks. And like I said, they took a whole 10 episodes to tell the whole story.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you understand the importance of it. Like they took a whole chunk out where Jinbei is like telling the story of like, man, you gotta know this. You gotta know the history to understand why we're at in the present. And I think the way they set up the flashback is what makes it so like, you know, like damn,
Yeah.
like oh that makes sense, you know, oh damn, like that, oh you know, you kind of have those moments throughout it of just like, okay, now I get why X, Y, and Z acts like X, Y, and Z and did X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good flashback, and that, and like going back to the present now and everything that happens after this, it gives just a little bit more like, you know, stakes to it.
Yeah.
You kind of like, okay, now I understand a little bit more of like Horty's like anger and the understanding of like once again the division that is happening on just Fishman Island, even just between like the districts, you know, like
Yeah.
Fishman, the Fishman district, they're like they in the ends, you know.
You're right.
So it's just like you understand why their anger is a little bit different than everybody else's in different parts of the island.
And so like when we get back to it, like we already got the setup of shit. Where Zoro, Usopp, and Brook at this point in time right now, you know? Like we gotta go save them. We gotta go recapture the palace. We gotta go save Neptune. We gotta lock in for this next part because everything is about to come to a head. And you know, Jinbei would take it on himself, but Luffy and them also got some stakes into it too. So everybody's gonna come together and you know set out to make a stand. And listen, man, this is I don't I don't really get the necessarily the hate for Fishman Island as an arc or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like you've been enjoying this, right? Because I've been enjoying the entire ride. Like I don't think,
You know, I don't know. Like it's the first arc of the time skip.
yeah,
I think it just really sets the tone for everything. Like there's
yeah,
some reveals, there's some other things, there's some mentioning of people and themes that we haven't, that play an actual role as we go on. So I think for an introduction to the times, like I said, after the time skip, One Piece is like One Piece 2 for me. It's a different tone, it's a different everything for me than it was pre time skip.
yeah.
And this arc really sets a lot of that going forward.
Yeah, it's no more adventure, no more it's like the goofy adventure stuff is still there, but everything is taken a little bit more seriously now, you know,
Yeah, they
and
like,
they
hey, like I said, like they really be like, hey, in the new world, hey, we rock a little differently. Like
yeah.
you will die over here. Like, for real, like you will get washed over here. Many pirates come and try to make it over here, and they can't. Like only the best of the best, the top of the top, the real of the real can make it over here. And you start to see that. You're kind of just
Yeah,
like, oh shit, like this ain't no just regular degular kind of thing. So,
yeah.
but thank you everyone who sat with us and listened to this new episode of The Lookout. Obviously, you know where to find us. YouTube, wherever you like to listen to your favorite podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our Instagram and Twitter on The Lookout RNT. Yeah, AD, any last words?
Man, listen, we've been rocking really strong, you know what I'm saying? Like I think when these next few episodes when we go back and we start to see where we're coming up from the flashback and how Luffy and them handles it, I think you're in for a treat. So, you know, just stay tuned.
For sure. Well, thank you guys once again for listening. Peace.